Hi, I'm Christine Herman of Herman's Quality Meat Shop in Newark, Delaware. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about duck and the parts to the duck. Are you ready? I have a lot of customers that eat duck all year long. They either cook it whole or they cook the parts, typically or almost always the legs or the boneless breast. That's really what we sell most of, these three items right here. And the holidays, specifically Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's, we sell a lot of whole ducks. Absolutely a ton of whole ducks. So we're going to talk about these items right here for just a few minutes. And I'm going to be perfectly upfront with you and honest. I have only cooked a duck once in my life, and it has been many, many years, and I know I probably didn't cook it the way your modern chefs would recommend. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through a couple things and also add a few links to some recipes and other cooking suggestions to help you better with cooking it, because I am not an expert and I'm just going to tell you that right now. But anyway, we sell ducks in our store, and we sell these beautiful whole ducks, and they're roughly 5 pounds. And what we know about a duck is they're very fatty, and therefore they have to have a special way of cooking them, essentially. But one of the things you want to make sure you do before you cook a whole duck is clean it just like you would any of your other poultry. And you want to make sure you take out the neck and any of the innards. So you want to check the cavity to make sure that there's no innards inside. Take out the livers and the gizzards and so on. And this one's already been cleaned. And you want to keep the skin intact as best you can, and the beautiful breast like it is, and the nice back portion as you can see here. You don't really want to trim a whole lot of this off, although you might be thinking to yourself, ew, there's so much fat on there. And yes, that is correct, there is. But that is, for many purposes, obviously the animal's purpose and its needs, but in this case, for your cooking needs, you want to have that juicy fat come out, and you can actually render it, which we're going to be sort of talking about a little bit in my kitchen tip. So one of the things you want to do when you cook a duck is you want to make sure you score the skin. You don't want to score it all the way to the meat. You want to just score the skin so that the fat will come out. And that's real important. So you just want to make some light cuts as such in like a crisscross pattern. And again, you just don't want to go all the way through. And I can show you, kind of hold this up and show you how I've done that in that crisscross pattern. And then in the leg, you want to just sort of poke it a little bit so that that fat will come out. That's real important. What I understand about duck is that you want to put salt on it and season it with some salt and pepper. And you can also stuff the cavity with lemon and garlic and some herbs if you'd like as well. Kind of open this up and put it in as such, and then close it back up and and roast it. It does take some time to cook because you want to slow cook it. And I don't mean slow at 200 degrees, but 350. But it takes time for the fats to cook out and render out. And what I suggest is that instead of one of my roasting pans that you've seen me use many times before, this is relatively shallow. It's maybe only an inch. You want to use something, be right back, something a little deeper, something more like this size where you have more depth for that grease to drip into so that the duck is not sitting in its own juices, and therefore the skin gets nice and crisp. That's really important. And the recipes that I've read is basically you're basting it and you're turning it. So you're cooking it breast side up, and then after 40 minutes or so you flip it, you baste it again, and then you cook it this way for another 40 minutes or so, and then you flip it again. And that's one of the best and easiest ways that I have read and learned about how to cook it. And then you take the juicy fats that you've rendered and then you can cook your vegetables in it and serve it lovely like that. So I'm going to set the duck aside, and we also have duck legs, or recipe is called confit, which is where you, again, you can lightly score the legs, kind of make sure you kind of prick that skin a little bit, and that opens up the fats to come out while you're cooking it. And you want to cook this in, what I have read and learned is you want to actually start it in a cold pan in a low temperature and get it hot instead of putting it in like a frying pan like you maybe would chicken. You want to let it get hot while the meat, the legs are in the pan, and let the greases cook out. And then again, you have that quick sear, and then you slow roast it in the oven, an open oven in like a casserole dish with your vegetables, and cook the vegetables in that drippings, and then put it all together in like a casserole dish and bake it in the oven until the skin gets nice and crisp. And you can see how beautiful and meaty the dark meat is on these duck legs. That's what they look like. And then another product that we sell a ton of year-round is the boneless duck breast. And they're very small, because you see a duck isn't very big in general anyway. But these are also a very lovely item that you can prepare anytime. And a lot of the recipes that I've seen are excellent for also pan searing as well. Very important to make sure that, again, you score the skin, as we talked about before. You want to score that skin, but not too deep. That's really critical. And you want to do that pan fry, or you can grill them. And you can see here again how I've scored that, but not into the meat itself. But something really interesting about the duck breast in particular that I have learned, and I've also learned this by being with other people at a restaurant that have eaten duck, is that it can be served like beef. So it can be served more pink, which is interesting to me, because you wouldn't think that. You would think it's poultry and it needs to be cooked all the way through, but it actually can be cooked a little more rare, if you will, maybe like a more of a medium well, rather than a drier, like a chicken you would guess. So again, we're going to attach some links to this video so that you have some recipes to go by. And again, I'm not an expert on cooking duck, so I want to be sure that I explain that and give you some ideas, but also let you know that we sell duck. We sell the legs separate, we sell whole ducks, and we sell the breasts. And I'm sure you can find them in other locations as well. But we carry an all-natural duck and products as such. So I hope that was helpful and giving you some ideas, maybe something different that you want to do for a holiday. If it's just a smaller gathering, you don't need a big turkey. There's just maybe going to be 3 or 4 of you, or maybe more, and you want to try 2 ducks or a combination of parts and a whole duck, and try something different. It might be something fun. Do some research, get some recipe ideas, and just try something different for a change. Change it up a little bit. You don't always have to do turkey at Thanksgiving. Shh, don't tell Mom I said that, but it's okay. You can do something a little bit different. It's fun. But I wanted to share with you, again, something else that I have never done, but I sell and have sold often, is the rendered duck fat. And my kitchen tip is the rendered duck fat, which is you can actually render it yourself while you're cooking this and these items, and set that duck fat aside and use it similarly to like you would making bacon grease and cooking items in it. And I hear that roasting vegetables in the duck fat is amazing, especially potatoes. Adds a crisp, wonderful flavor, and add your seasonings to that, and you have an absolutely amazing, it's the only word I can think of to use right now, is an amazing meal that you have created by using all of the parts of the duck and the pieces that you have here. And you can save that duck fat that you've rendered and store it and use it later to cook again other vegetables or potatoes or something, or frying something else in it, cooking something else in it at another time. So there you go. We've got duck, and more duck. So I hope that was helpful. I hope this was a fun video for you to learn a little bit something new and different, kind of out of my comfort zone as well. But it's all good. That's what we're here for, right? So remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, send us a comment how you prepare your duck. I would love to hear it, and share a recipe if you'd also like to do that, and just become part of the Herman family. Thank you so much. God bless you.